Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Three Men and a Little Virus. This is week 3 of series 2 and we're calling it #Completionist. And it's all AMJ's fault. My name's Mark Cridland, I'm the one that tries to hold this all together, and I'm joined by our irregular comedians, Mr. AMJ, that's Adam Morrison-Jones, and Paul Tingy. They are the funny ones, allegedly. So in this week's show we talk about tanks, yes, actual tanks, people that compare the pandemic to World War II, no idea why, clapping for heroes, we talk about Trump being out and Biden being in. The robot restaurant that is in York that they're hoping to get open very soon. And we talk about Hamilton, the musical. I've never seen it. We also have an update on Paul's shoes. If you've been listening to this series, then you'll know that Paul's very tight and doesn't like to spend money on shoes. But there's a bit of an update on that. We talk about how this podcast is now available on YouTube for those that don't use podcast services, and the callback to when AMJ was accused of dodging tax. Yes. There was something interesting that happened in the Sahara Desert this week, and a camel attacks a zookeeper. Is he a friend of Geraldine's? Possibly. And Storytime with AMJ and Dave the Elephant. This week it's Goldilocks and the Three Bears. So, sit back and enjoy another week of Three Men and a Little Virus.
Hello.
Is this better?
Yeah, that sounds better. What did you do?
A lot better.
Well, I just literally hung up and dialed back in.
Oh, the old turning on and off again. You can't beat that. Is the greatest way of fixing anything ever. Even the army use that.
Oh yeah. Turn it off and back on again.
Exactly. This tank's not working. Come on, Keith. Turn it on and off again. And you press the on-off button in the tank, and then it turns on. Amazing.
I learned a really cool fact about tanks a couple of weeks ago. I was meant to share it. But when in World War One, initially when the crew stopped, they'd have to get out the tank to have a cup of tea. They realised that was too dangerous. So since then, all British tanks have had a steam valve fitted inside the tanks, which disperses hot water purely for making cup of tea for the crew. So they don't have to get out the tank.
The most British thing ever.
I was just thinking that single-handedly the most British thing I have ever, a steam valve for tea.
Yeah, in the middle of a tank battle, it's like, could do a cup of tea. It's like, go make it straight, easy enough. And then they'd say, thanks very much.
Do you
think that, Brits?
What do you think? Someone's in that tank going to someone else, going, hold on, lads. We've been doing this for 6 hours now. We're legally entitled to a tea break. These are the government guidelines that are going on. And but you don't want to go out there, Keith. No, I'm going out. This is my right. I don't get paid that half hour.
Yeah, and if you go outside, you need a mask. Stay in the tank. You have to stay in your tank bubble.
Yeah.
I reckon there's some German, if the corona was going on there, put on a mask. What? He's about to shoot me. No, put on the bloody mask. I am sick with the comparisons of this to World War II. And it's like, stop it. Just stop it. Like some of them were going like, yeah, wow. It's like, World War II. I don't think it is. I don't. Personally, I mean, it's like they didn't have social media. Could you imagine? Yeah. Could you imagine? Hashtag it's all a big lie. Hashtag Hitler is made by the Disney Corporation. Hashtag I'm going to sit in my house even if the alarm sounds.
I know my rights. Hashtag I'm going to keep my light on.
Hashtag Winston's a liar. I'm going to keep my light on.
In the blackout during the air raid.
Yeah, no, I really like that. That made me laugh. Hashtag clap your heroes. Yeah, be quiet for your heroes. Did anyone...
Careless tittle-tattle lost the battle.
It did, careless tittle-tattle did lose the battle. That's a bit of a tongue twister.
Mm.
Did anyone clap the heroes at all?
Poster.
Ah.
Clapping for the heroes. Is that actually restarted?
Well, I don't know.
I went outside and no one was doing it in my street apart from me.
Yeah, I've not heard anything since. Yeah, there was talk of bringing it back. Clapping for heroes. Yeah, but I've not heard anyone on our street at all. During the first lot, when it was all going on the first time, everyone was going mental on a Thursday night. You know, the saucepans hanging out the windows, they were shouting and screaming and everything. You know, it was like being in a riot.
Yeah.
The thing is because they've moved it to 8 p.m., most of the kids are asleep, and they're the ones who love making the noise.
What time was it before?
I think it was 6:30 or 7. No, it was 6 o'clock because they would delay the 6 o'clock news.
Yeah.
Any excuse.
Yeah, 8 o'clock now. So, yeah, kids asleep, don't make a racket.
Do you know what, though? This is just how my mind works. When we were doing the clapping the first time around, the first two was great, and then everyone was getting more annoyed about it. And all jokes aside, there was some twat at the bottom of the road who kept blowing a trumpet. And you know when you're just looking of going like, oh, stop it now. Stop it now. And you know when it's like going like, yeah, you can play the trumpet. Just clap like everyone else. You don't need to blow that trumpet. No one wants to hear that trumpet. You're not doing it particularly well. But you can't say that because you look very bitter.
So he was blowing his own trumpet.
He was literally blowing his own trumpet for the NHS. If that's not a private eye sketch, I do not know what is.
Maybe
that's what it was.
Doctor.
Maybe it was an actual doctor blowing a trumpet for the NHS.
My nephew played his trumpet a couple of weeks for the NHS in his front garden.
Yeah,
I respect that because he's a young man. He's not someone playing the trumpet badly.
I don't know. He's very good.
Yeah. And it was every week, though. It's like, do it a few times. It's like, that was my problem with the clapping as well. It's like, we just kept doing it, didn't give them a raise, and then we've kind of started again, and it's that whole thing of going, but we haven't, can we clap at the end as a big celebration, not halfway through? Because this is the equivalent of an encore we're in right now, and you shouldn't really get clapped to the other side of it.
On the note of COVID and the NHS and that lot, my wife's actually had her first COVID vaccination this week.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah, because where she works in a like cleaning in a doctor's surgery, she's entitled to get it now. So I had to go all the way up to Sheppey though, and I was quite surprised to see the nurse only had 4 fingers and a thumb on each hand, rather than the alleged 6 or 7.
I thought you were going to go with webbed.
Yeah, didn't even see that. I was quite surprised, but then I didn't see many people there because obviously separation and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, you're kept well away. It was very well organised up there. Everyone was properly socially distanced, and it was well organised. So well done for the NHS for doing it properly.
They've worked hard, all of them. They really have, and they deserve something.
Bloody right. So give them all a raise. Give them Boris money.
Exactly.
Sack Boris. We don't need a prime minister at the minute, do we?
It cut out then when it said sack, and I for a minute thought you said sacrifice Boris, and I was like, some blood kind of sacrifice.
Yes, a blood sacrifice to the COVID gods.
It's the days of revelation. I've got my first injection on Saturday.
Ooh, how'd you get that?
Well, because I'm still on bank staff for the care home, just in case like, in the future I go in. So, did it hurt? Did she say if it hurt at all? Or
she said it was just like a flu jab.
Yeah,
just like the flu jab. So yeah, it's just like a quick, like bee sting. Really short, sharp, done, quick and easy. But I mentioned Boris there, but of course this week. Trump went. Woo!
Oh, what great news!
Replaced by the old man. What?
We've still got 3.5 hours before it officially happens.
I know, but this is going out from Saturday, so it will be done by now.
Yeah, I know, but it could still go completely wrong. He might still be there.
Nah, it'll be riots. People will be breaking into the place again.
Yeah.
So yeah, just so people know, we are recording this on Wednesday afternoon for once. It's a little bit earlier because of Paul. Hence why he said it's not quite happened yet. So it might confuse people.
Yeah.
It's like a complete your own adventure book, isn't it? Like, because they can like complete what is going to happen. It's like we don't know. I reckon it's actually going to turn into a game of Fortnite. Like, because when that last guy broke in with the horns, I generally woke up and thought, Nerdist have posted something. And I was like, oh no, these are real people.
Yeah, it was a little bit surreal. But
I'm looking forward to seeing Joe Biden do the floss then.
So am I. So's Joe Biden.
I think I saw somewhere that Donald Trump and Joe Biden are the same age, I think. But they look like Biden looks like really old because he's very pale and grey in his face and his
Biden's 3 years older.
So Trump's 74.
Biden's 77.
Biden.
77, my fine friend.
Yes, 78.
Oh,
wow.
He's had a birthday.
He has, 20th of November, his birthday was. 78. Bloody hell. So it's all going to be interesting. And of course, with Biden taking over, the Trump's wall with Mexico is being stopped.
Yes.
It's going to be a half-built wall, a bit like Hadrian's.
At least Hadrian's was finished.
Yeah, there's that. And that's the thing, though, isn't it? Like, what's going to happen with that wall? I say they make it a tourist spot. In like 50 years from now, there'll be someone taking around a group of kids talking about COVID and the Trump years of going like, look, this is the half-built wall. There'll be someone like me doing those tours, making up what that wall was meant for. And this is where George Lucas actually lost it and decided to build a wall round the world. Why George Lucas? He just did.
This is where he decided to make the 10th version of Star Wars.
Why did he make so many? I don't know.
Yeah, talking of Star Wars, there's robots in Star Wars, aren't there?
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, well, I've got a news story here about a robot-operated restaurant.
I love this.
Yes, it's going to be the UK's first fully robot-operated restaurant because, obviously going to be safe during the pandemic because you're not going to be having waiters going to and from. It's all going to be robot waiters.
No, but you're still going to have morons sitting too close to each other.
Oh, yeah, exactly. But, this place, I can't even pronounce the name of the place, Hayes Hong Lao Hot Pot and Barbecue Restaurant. It's in York, so up in York. And, they've paid out a load of money, got these robot waiters saying it's going to be a completely contactless restaurant, reduce human-to-human contact. But the police in York have urged the city council to say no to letting them open because obviously there's going to be idiots.
And they've seen RoboCop.
Yep.
And Robot Wars.
And Robot Wars. And, of course, Time Cop.
Yep.
Terminator.
All that lot. But yeah,
Tim the Friendly Robot.
Robots.
Yeah.
iRobot.
Johnny Five, he's alive.
Short Circuit.
Short Circuit. Of course, Short Circuit.
Yeah. So they really want to get it out there and get opened up. Apparently they applied for a license last November with the similar idea and the council went no. But apparently they've upped the CCTV. There's going to be more robots around. They've even put on the outside of the restaurant great big window paneling with smart robot contactless service and pictures of the robots. And but they've still got to wait for the council to say yes. It's like North Yorkshire Police have said that the area has been identified as an issue because of high concentration of licensed premises and the impact of high-level occurrences in relation to crime and disorder-related issues. So basically, they're worried that if you go there and eat, you'll come out, maybe have a few beers while you're there, and then cause public order offences. So it's like, but they're next Monday we will find out whether they can open their robot restaurant or not.
I look forward to this.
Of course, you've got to be careful if you're the robot chef, because you don't want to fry your circuits.
Hey.
I've been saying that the whole time you've been speaking.
Do they have a sign as you go in that says R2D2 meters apart? But I it's just weird though, isn't it? Because like I don't know, like where I've just spent the last year reading conspiracy theories. When you said that, I was like, right, they're going to take over the world. And then when you said it was in York, could you imagine any weirder place for robots to take over?
Well, in all fairness, York is the home of the National Railway Museum, so it's well known for technological advances.
It is indeed.
And also the toilets at that restaurant. There's a big gold robot, and it says C3P here.
I was going to say the big gold robot would be at the front doors and limiting the amount of people that sit at a table. You can only see 3PO people. I don't know. Anyway, moving on.
Even for you, critters.
You see what I have to put up with, listeners.
The thing is with that as well, like this is the thing with no gigs, sort of like not being able to go out and do anything, because the moment there's a chance to write a pun or something that's robot related, everyone just went, yeah, here we go, it's some robot banter. When we can actually go into the real world and vent a bit, like this podcast, I reckon it'd calm down a little bit. Nah, not in a million years. It'd be worse.
Have you seen on Trump's final day really of being in power, he done loads and loads of pardons.
Do you know who started those pardons as president?
Go on then.
Alexander Hamilton.
Who's he?
Oh, he did he start the pardons?
Yeah, he started the pardons. How about that? And also in that restaurant, the fish fry is called Robocod.
Yeah. Ooh, founding father of the United States.
No, not even a segue into it. It was like, is it? Here, have it.
Well, it's because critters moved on too quickly. I was sitting on that one as well. So I just thought I'd shoehorn it in because I didn't want to lose it.
Oh, see? Yeah, you had it under your soul. It's over soul.
Oh, that was good.
Anyway, you mentioned Alexander Hamilton. So, yeah, founding father of the United States. Cause of death, gunshot wound. Yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah, well, he got shot because he was all for giving slaves freedom and things like that. There's a lovely musical about him currently on Disney Plus.
Unfortunately, I've seen it twice now.
Well, is that who it's all about then?
Yeah.
Have you not seen or have you not heard Weird Al's polka of all the best parts of the music put together in one song?
No, but I know a certain person who would love that.
I'd recommend you listen to it.
Do you know what got me in that musical? And like spoilers, Cridlin. I
didn't know what Hamilton was even about.
Yeah, it was about a pig called Hamilton. That's terrible, and I take that back. Is that song where he's clearly getting with a woman of the night, and it's like, I can't say no. It's like, you can say no, you pervert.
Do you know why he couldn't say no?
Why?
He'd already paid out some fine dollar.
He was all right. I'm in. I paid money.
I'll give no refunds.
Well, that's it. You have to get the best out of the service, then, don't you?
Yeah.
Of course.
Everyone runs their businesses like that, though. Of customer service to that higher standard.
Yeah.
Like, I was thinking about this the other day, because I clearly saw someone do a drug deal on a walk. I thought, do you reckon they have their own kind of trip advisor?
Well, they're certainly tripping.
Hey, set it up for you.
This was a good trip.
I should have really used one of the jokes that I'm really proud of when I wrote it. I bought some shoes off a drug dealer. I've been tripping ever since.
That's a good joke.
Also works when I'm dyspraxic as well, so good chance I'll be tripping over in my 18-month, £20 shoes.
Oh, your shoes. I had a message from someone. Right.
I love how great my shoes are becoming.
Because
legendary.
Just to fill in, I thought I'd like put out the feelers, so I posted on the Dyspraxic forum in the UK.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
Which I thought would be good on how much people spend a year on shoes. Bearing in mind, dyspraxia, you have heavier feet, so your shoes wear out. And I think the average thing where people would spend up to £100, and it just really made me laugh. This list, so there was no one because 20 quid's worth of shoes would just wear out. And then someone messaged me, and they remain nameless up until after the recording, going, You need to stop being so hard on him. He clearly hasn't got the money for shoes. And I text back going, no, he's just a stingy bastard. It's like, it's nothing to do with him not being able to afford them shoes. He's just being cheap as f***. That's the problem with it. And it's like, I just want you to be comfy. I just want you to be comfy. And it's like, no, I'm not having to go at him being poor or anything. He's not poor. He's not a poor man.
My bank account would suggest otherwise.
Oh, don't you pull that card.
It's true.
Yeah, that is shoe news.
Shoe news. Are we going to have shoe news each week? Oh, by the way, talking of shoe news, because my wife saw AMJ's post, and she was like, I know why you said that for, because I normally buy your shoes.
Yeah.
And I went, I've put that into the budget. And she said, you spent 40 quid on a pair of sandals. And I went, that was 2 years ago. That's £20 average over 2 years. And she said, what about those trainers I bought you last year? I went, still £20. They were £10. So it still averages out £20. Because the year before I bought the sandals, I bought no new shoes.
Well, you're still at, for the entirety of your working life, buying shoes, me and Adam Morrison added this up, you've only spent £680.
No, I don't even think I've spent that much.
Which is bananas. Like that.
I mean, although saying that I did once spend £40 on a pair of trainers. I know when I was younger, my dad used to buy me football boots that cost like 100 quid. Those were the good old days, and my dad used to buy me quite expensive trainers. But now, no way, my fine friends. So I've been listening to a lot of Richard Heron lately. Sorry, Richard.
I'll tell you what, a certain comedian has just messaged me about puppets, and he's just had a reply from Richard Heron. I will forward it into the group.
Because Richard Heron has got a thing about puppets, hasn't he?
He has.
Did they share our... That's what we need to do. We need to tweet Richard Heron. He would give us the $750.
We need the video to be sorted out, Mr. AMJ.
We do, but it's hard to get people to give $750 when the voice of the elephant hasn't filmed anything yet.
Wow.
Did you see
maybe if he had a visualization, he'd be able to film it, but he can't. There's a catch-22.
You just have to do it. You'll have to use one of those, the video of just a silhouette. Like on Crime Watch.
That's a bit sinister.
You have to do that.
Well, we could just put a cartoon elephant there for him. Like he's out at the moment. He's doing his daily exercise at the moment. Him and Geraldine gone for a social distance walk.
Hasn't he got a story time to do soon?
No, he'll be back.
Okay.
They went out. They know they're only allowed out for an hour, so they'll be back soon.
Yeah.
But talking of shoes, so this year celebrates my 5th year wedding anniversary.
Ooh. How are you going to celebrate?
New shoes?
No, not new shoes. Although last year was leather, and I bought some leather. I bought a leather bracelet. I should have bought some shoes then. But just on the shoe front, I still wear those shoes from my wedding day on a near daily basis to work.
Mhm.
And they're in perfect, fine, fetal condition. And I'm not making this up. They are actually in very good condition for a pair of my shoes.
How much were they, though?
How much were they? They were 12 quid.
Bloody hell! Like I'm amazed. One, I'm amazed and annoyed at how well you can find shoes at such a good price. I think that's more what it is than anything else.
Go to Shoe Zone.
I will. I'm
Look,
going to go now.
It shows how little walking he does.
Well, there is that.
I have young friend. You know that picture of the shoes that I sent the other day with the broken sole?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. I done a mighty whopping 12 miles worth of walking in that yesterday.
What? In those?
In those, yes. My feet, particularly my left foot where the split in the shoe is in agony.
I'm not surprised.
There you go. I've got a pair of Skechers trainers that I've had for about 2 or 3 years. They're quite expensive, but they're from my dad. He didn't like them and he gave them to me. They're a size too small for me, but I still wear them.
I knew you would. I knew, like, the minute you said that, I was like, he's still going to squeeze his foot into those shoes. Just for the sake of saving a few quid. It's a false economy.
It's not a false economy because I've saved loads. But, just stop having a pop at me because I don't have the money to buy them.
Shut up, because you know exactly what you're doing by saying that.
Look, I've had enough of this. Normally I can get away with being poor, and because then everyone just thinks I'm like really generous because I'm giving money to the charities all the time. But I actually could do with that money. I could get myself a pair of trainers, a decent pair.
Well, don't give the money to charity then.
But they need it more than me, AMJ.
Evidently not.
Their lifestyles, through no fault of their own, are worse than mine. Lots of them are ill. Some of them don't even have a roof over their heads. I have a roof over my head. And like Dave the Elephant said, I also have a roof over my house. Let's call back to last week's episode.
There you go, completionists.
Yep.
Stuart Lee fans, which Richard Heron definitely is not one of.
Have you done a binge watching the old Leicester Square Theatre podcast?
It depends if you mean by the fact that I've listened to about 30 odd hours worth in the last 3 days, then yeah, I probably have.
Exactly. I love them. I'm a badge member for it as well, I think.
I think I might become a badge member. Oh, talking of badge members.
Yeah.
How's our coffee fundraising going, Critters?
Nothing. There's nothing in there. Nothing.
Unbelievable.
I know. Terrible.
They're getting all this for the sake of a coffee. Come on, guys. Like, we give us the fucking money.
At the moment.
Although, because we use Acast as our podcast hosting, they actually have set up now a supporter page. So there is a supporter page on Acast, and the link is in the description of this podcast because they automatically put it in there. And there's the advert at the beginning. Advert at the beginning of every single one of our podcasts saying, if you like it, support it, donate it.
And the link is in our YouTube video as well.
It is as well, yes, because someone mentioned to me last week, they said, I don't use Spotify or any podcast thingy, so is there any other way of listening? And I went, not yet. So there is now. So, yeah, you can now find all...
I don't do digital media. Is there any other way I can listen to it?
So YouTube's the way to go. Everyone can access YouTube because it's, you don't even have to have an account. You can just click on the link and go to YouTube and search in there for Musical Insights, or click the link that's available on the Facebook page. And yes, there's a playlist starting from this season. You can listen to each of the shows on there.
That's pretty cool. I never knew that was a thing. Like I'm learning something today.
It was on the Living the Dream Facebook page.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Which you are an admin of, AMJ. Just like to.
I don't think he is, actually.
Is he not?
I think, no, when he ran off to Cornwall or Devon, whenever it was, many years back, we took him off just in case the taxman tried to come back to us.
I remember. Yeah, he probably will. He's on the prowl at the moment.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mr. Taxman.
Bring
me some cash.
I hate looking at my secret stash. I hate that. Like every time I log in to check my bank details, I look at how much that's put away for taxes there, and I just see it and think, "Oh,
I'm glad I've paid this in the last 10 years." That's what you're thinking.
I'm not thinking that.
No wonder why you can afford so many new shoes. You don't pay your taxes.
Yeah,
choice is taken out my wage.
Yeah. Saying that though, I've always had like loads of tax taken out, so it is a lot tax, isn't it, when you think about it?
Well, it's only 20%.
Yeah.
Yeah, only.
You get in the higher echelons, which you seem to think I'm in. You seem to think I'm in the higher tax bracket, which
40%.
Yeah, I'm not.
You pay 40%, yeah?
Yeah, no, I don't. No, don't try. I was just agreeing that's the next tax band. But no, I don't pay 40%. I'm nowhere near that.
See, we all thought you were.
No, this is the thing. Everyone seems to think I'm on a lot of money, but I'm really not.
You work for a really big company, so you should be.
Yeah, that's how it works.
Pay less.
Oh,
because all those kids in the Nike sweatshop are coining it in, aren't they? Because they work for a big company.
Yeah, making loads of money. They are. It's loads of money to them.
Yeah, and they got all them shoes.
Yeah,
it's an ideal job for you, Paul.
But no, if they stitch it wrong, they get beatings.
They get stitched up.
Yeah, well, in some ways.
Get stitches.
Hey.
Call back Series 1.
Completionist.
Hey. Dear.
Let's get that trending. Let's get that trend. Hashtag completionist. Big news this week.
One listener will get that trending, won't they?
They will.
We have many listeners.
Many from all around the world.
It's only where I go to work and I leave my phone in the car and just have it on repeat over and over again on 4 different things.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just what. Although I'm going to check because I'm pretty sure I saw our first YouTube video and its first day or in the first couple of hours was already up to 8 views. How about that? That's the heady heights, isn't it?
Well, I'm just gonna have a look. See, looking on here now.
8 views.
8 million. Sorry, I forgot the million.
8 million.
8
million views.
10.
Right.
No views.
Hang on. Series 1, episode 1. Series 2, episode 1 has had 19 views. And episode 2 has had 3.
Oh.
So if you want anyone listening, and you know someone that would like to listen on YouTube instead of using one of these podcast things, then tell them it's on YouTube. You have to search for Musical Insights. You can search for Free Men and Little Virus, and it comes up as well, actually.
Yeah. Although confusingly, it's the number 3, because this is what threw me when I was trying to find it on Spotify for the first time, because our title is 3, the wording, but the title is 3, the number, and it confused Spotify when I was searching for it.
It's easy to confuse Spotify, I think.
It's easy to confuse most people.
It is. It's easy to confuse me.
And I was about to say, do you know the easiest way to confuse AMJ is tell him on average you spend £20 a year on shoes?
Yeah. Yeah, talking of confusing things, you think of the Sahara Desert. What's the first thing that comes to mind when you think of the Sahara Desert?
Mummies.
Dave the Elephant.
Wow.
Peanuts.
I think most people would say sand and hot.
Go on.
Yes. Well, this week there has been something very strange happen in the Sahara Desert.
Ooh.
Oh, I think I read about this.
Yeah, they
Tom Cruise had an affair with Pamela Anderson in the Sahara Desert. Yes.
Well, it's actually the 4th time in 42 years that it snowed.
What?
Yes, the town in the Nama province, which is in the Sahara Desert, actually got to -3 degrees, and then it snowed. And where it's there's a nice picture actually. You could actually Google this, saying snow in the Sahara Desert. There's a picture and a video where it shows where it's really weird patterns on the sand, because obviously there's some parts of the sand that are cooler than other parts. So it's really weird pattern. That's where the snow is laid. Really strange, but yeah, really, really weird. The only other times it snowed, 1979, 2017, and 2018. In 1979, the snowstorm was actually severe enough to stop traffic. 2017, a blizzard dumped snow up to 1 meter thick in the Sahara Desert. And in 2018, there was 15 inches of snow. So crazy.
Wow. What's going on? And there's no global warming.
No. Well, January is the coldest month for in the Sahara Desert, and it normally gets down to about 14 degrees. And it's got this time -3. So something weird is going on in the world.
To be it's -3 degrees is that's what the 3 degrees are called when they all finally die.
That's dark. For all those 3 degree fans out there just yelling at their radio at this moment, going, "Oh, he's gone too far this time. He can take a pop at anyone else, but not the 3 degrees."
And do you know what I say to them?
What?
There's been 15 different women in the 3 degrees. They've had more changes than Atomic Kitten.
Oh, and Atomic Kitten were great.
There's always only ever been 3. There's always only ever been 3.
Oh dear. All fun and games. Right. I'm just wondering if Dave's back yet for story time.
I'll have a look out the front. They're at the end of the road. They should be back here in probably 2 minutes.
I've actually got another news story while we're waiting, which is could be. I'm wondering if it's a friend of Geraldine that's in this news story. So I reckon if we might be able to find out when she comes in. We can have a chat with Geraldine before Dave attends the frivolity. But I'm having trouble with my news. There it is. It's right. News is up. It's all about a zoo.
Hey, I'm back.
Oh, hello. Hey. Right, Geraldine, question for you. Have you got a friend who's a camel?
I've got lots of friends, Pat.
Have you got a camel friend?
Oh, depends who's asking.
Does he live in Germany as well?
Oh, I've got one in Germany.
Yeah, well, it could be your friend then. It's a camel in a zoo in Germany that all of a sudden decided that he didn't like the zookeeper. So bit him in the face with serious injuries.
Oh, good. He's not lost his enforcement touch.
That's what made me think he was friends with you.
He probably ain't paid his way. He's probably, taking that drug. Those drugs are not paid for it. No wonder why he flipped and bit his face.
Yeah, because normally camels are fine, and it's this was in Perlberg Zoo in northern Germany, which is near Berlin. And the guy was cleaning the camel enclosure and feeding them just like normal. And all of a sudden, this one turned around and just bit him right in the face.
Innocent until proven guilty, Pet. If you do drugs, kids, make sure you pay your dealer.
True that.
Apparently, it's caused serious puncture wounds and lacerations to the zookeeper's face. So there you go. That's a lesson to be learned.
Was he a tyre?
What?
Was he a tyre?
No, not those kind of puncture wounds.
What's space hopper? It's not puncture. It's a deep cut. Get over yourself.
A deep what?
Live in Herne Bay, that zookeeper. Bloody ponce.
Yeah, been a hell of a zookeeper in Herne Bay. The local petting zoo.
there's nothing wrong with the guinea pigs. Oh no, I love guinea pigs, and I love rabbits. Oh, I think they're amazing. And I love my three hair friends as well.
Oh, here we go again. Dave and his endless friends that you don't have.
Oh, I do. I know them all. You think it's all make believe, but it really isn't. And in all fairness, I've seen quite a few of these friends. Yeah, I've got two guinea pig friends called they're called Henry and Daniel, and they live in Paul's garden.
Do they really, or is Paul just very tired?
No, they really do. He calls them his pets, but they're my friends.
Okay, Dave, I believe you.
Oh, thanks, mate.
We still haven't seen a picture of this turtle that's in his house.
You've both seen the turtle.
I've not seen the turtle.
No. Paul said he was going to send a picture over, but we haven't seen it.
He's called Edward. I'll get him to take a photo. Paul, why haven't you sent the photo? Well, that's because I thought they'd both seen Edward in my old house. Well, they haven't, have they? This is a turtle. He's called Edward. He ate his brother.
What? Hang on, this turtle ate
You can't
his brother.
just like throw the fact in like that. This is Edward. Lovely turtle. Ate his brother.
Cannibal.
It did. And a cannon turtle.
I wonder what turtles taste like.
Soup.
I bet they're good. You've got to crack them open, haven't you? Like with a nutcracker.
They're like, you break them open like you do with the crab claws.
Crab
I've seen it done.
or a really intense chocolate orange.
Just bang it on the floor.
The shells aren't as heavy as you think. I think chocolate oranges are intense. Turtle shells. There's a difference between tortoise and turtle. I told you about that last week.
Yeah, you did. Completionist.
That's your word of the day.
I'm going to get it hashtagging. Like, if you are listening to this and you think, you know what? I don't have the money to buy the boys a coffee. Let's get hashtag completionist going.
I like hash browns.
I like hash browns. I had to make some vegan hash browns the other day on this diet. It's not the same.
Vegan hash browns? What do you mean vegan hash browns? Aren't they all veganised?
Yeah, but like completely. Well, they were just healthier versions from a vegan book.
Okay.
Potato and onion.
Yeah, pretty much.
There's no meat in there.
That's what a hash brown is.
Is there not egg to hold it all together normally?
Yes,
I've
that
never
was
used
the
egg
difference.
to hold it together, and I'm pretty sure McCain's don't.
Loop that. Loop Paul saying I've never used egg to hold it together.
I need something to hold my life together. Just start having more eggs. Oh, I don't know what you're wrong about, Paul. Neither do I. What do you mean you need to hold it together? You seem perfectly sane to me.
Is that why your life is a bit scrambled?
What a cracking joke.
Oi.
I'm going to poach that one.
You have to shut out for these sort of jokes normally.
I generally went blank. I was like, I couldn't think of any egg pun other than that smashing. I thought that's not even an egg joke or an ag joke. What's an ag joke?
Sounds like you need something to hold it together, hey, Jay.
I think I do.
I'm thinking positively sane.
Yeah, you are. Right, is it story time now?
It is.
So I cut short my exercise to come and do the story. Geraldine wasn't happy. No, I wasn't happy because I was just about to sit on Benefit Bear's face.
So what's the story for this week?
Well, in honour of Benefit Bear, it's Goldilocks and the Three Bears.
Ooh.
So it's a very.
Paul's lost it.
I think Paul's lost it. Oh, I'm suffocating down here. I'm not going to do that voice.
He weren't going to. It weren't me. It was Geraldine. Apparently, it helps with the with relaxation.
She said,
sometimes.
deep tissue massage. It's a deep tissue massage. I can feel it all over afterwards. I feel so relaxed. Yeah, and she normally is like buzzing, and she's normally skipping home. She had the right monk on the way home. That she punched the dog in the face. My old Yorkshire Terrier was yapping. I couldn't take it no more, so I just knotted it. I thought you punched it. No, I let it in with my head.
I think sometimes that's the best way.
Yeah. So, story time.
So, story time. So, today's story, everyone, is Goldilocks and the Three Bears. Now, yes, Dave?
I'm just excited.
Now, things you must know. I'm going to start the story. Many years ago, there was a girl called Goldilocks.
How many years ago? How set the tone?
65 years ago.
Oh, so it was just coming out the war. There's a bit of depression, but jubilation at the same time. Okay.
Exactly. And Goldilocks decided to go for a little walk in the woods.
Oh, that doesn't sound safe. Did she have a guardian with her? Was there a responsible adult?
There was no responsible adult. And let me tell you all at home, if you are going to go for a walk, 1, tell people where you're going, and 2, make sure you're safe. So, Goldilocks was having the walk. What?
That's very good sound advice, AMJ.
It is good sound advice. I don't know where it came from. I shot myself saying that. So,
Shot
Goldilocks.
Yourself? Don't do it.
No, I didn't shoot myself. I shocked myself. So,
oh, thank goodness.
Goldilocks even. That's a page. Goldilocks was walking through the woods.
She tried on 3 different pairs of glasses.
She did. So Goldilocks was walking through the woods, and she saw a big house.
Well, I hope she just took a photo of it.
Oh,
and
no.
admired its beauty and architecture.
No, Dave, that didn't happen. She walked to the house and saw the door was open. Now, you should never do this. So what she did was she put her hand on the knob and then twisted that knob.
I was planning to do about 5 minutes ago until I had to come back home to make sure Dave was complete.
So you're claiming the money for it, Geraldine. You need to look after him.
I know, that's what I did. But it still gave me the raging up that I knotted that Yorkshire Terrier.
Yeah, well, it just happens.
Yappy little...
So, Goldilocks was going into the house, and she noticed something.
What's she doing? That's against the law.
It is against the law, but we're going to suspend our disbelief for a little bit.
And that's dangerous, because she don't know who's in there. It could be murderers.
There might be. Ooh. And the house was absolutely empty. Goldilocks thought,
thank goodness. I hope she left a note on the floor saying, I saw your door open. I checked to see anyone was in. You weren't. So I shut the door to make sure no one comes and burgles you. Much love, Goldilocks.
She didn't do that, Dave. She didn't do that at all. What she did...
She leave a video message.
She didn't leave a video message.
She couldn't do that.
She was very tired, though, and very hungry.
Oh, she should get home. Have a snack and have a kip.
But there was no need, Dave. There was no need because there was a table where there were 3 bowls of porridge.
Oh, does it start to sound like Mary Celeste?
It is. Well, it feels a bit like Mary Celeste. So,
Mary Celeste and Daphne. Oh, stick you, your porridge too, and your daddy.
It's like being at Red in 1999. So, she sat down. She tried the first bowl of porridge.
Well, she's a thief.
Well, yeah, she is a thief, but there's a moral to this.
Thief.
She is a thief. So she tried the first bit of porridge.
Calling the police.
Don't call the actual police, Dave, because this never happened. This isn't real.
Well, but it's a story, so it has to be real.
No, some stories are not real.
What do you mean?
So that all this never happened. It's just for like the purpose of being a story.
I don't think I understand, but carry on.
So Dave, so this, it's kind of a moral. So I tell this, and then you learn a valuable lesson from it. It never existed.
Well, the house never existed.
The house never existed. No,
The
there was no house.
Exist.
Goldilocks didn't exist. No.
And now, how does anyone know the story?
Well, because it's passed down from generation to generation.
Oh, so it did happen, but just a long time ago, and people don't think it's true because it was passed down through generation before it's written down. A bit like the Bible.
Well, we're not quite like the Bible. I don't remember there being 3 enchanted bears in the Bible somehow.
3 enchanted kings, mate.
Yeah, well, 3 enchanted...
There weren't. There's no mention of how many magi there are in the Bible. That's been twisted over the years to give atheists another so-called leg up. Carry on.
Carry on.
Well, so she sat down with the first bowl of porridge.
Yeah.
And it's too hot, Dave. It burns her mouth.
Oh, was it snow? Was it snowing? Is that why they left the house quickly? Because on Saturday, Paul made me porridge, and we saw the snow outside, and we left the porridge on the table to go and play in the snow. Was there snow outside?
For the sake of this, yes, there was snow outside.
Oh, I can understand why people have left their breakfasts then in such a hurry.
Exactly. And then she tried the second bowl, which was too cold.
Oh, sounds like they've got problems with their microwave.
I think they have.
Their stove.
And then she looked over to the third bowl to see nothing was in it. So what she did was mix the cold and the hot together and made it the perfect temperature. So, at this point, Goldilocks was full of porridge. Now, what do you do when you're full of porridge, Dave?
Go, oh, that's got me set up for a lovely day. I can go for a nice walk and I'm going to have plenty of energy until lunchtime. And if it's ready, Beck, it's central heating for kids and little elephants.
It sure is. But she went for a nap. So,
going for a nap with such a full belly was going to end in gastric problems, I tell you.
It is. Well, she went upstairs and she saw 3
What she went up? She should have walked back to her house for a nap. You can't just go sleeping in strangers' houses.
You can't just go. But this is the moral of the story. So she went in the first bed. Oh, and it was too hard. She went in the second bed.
Sounds like a highly sprung mattress.
It was. She went in the second bed, and it was clearly just didn't feel right. It was a cheap memory foam bed.
Oh.
And on the third bed, it
sounds like it didn't feel right because it weren't her bed.
Exactly.
She's right on my nerves now, this little girl. I hope the dad came back and mauled her face.
Wow, this is what happened, Geraldine. She went into the third bed and she fell asleep. Then the 3 bears came home.
Yeah.
They opened the door and looked to see all their porridge.
She shut it behind her. She didn't leave it open like the bears did. That was a bit careless of them.
Yeah, they had a key anyway, for the sake of this. So they came in and saw all the porridge was gone, and they were angry.
Well, they knew their porridge was gone because the bowl was empty.
Exactly, all of them. Yeah, well, I don't know why it was empty. It doesn't really work that bit, but we'll keep it in. So they noticed all the porridge was gone, and they could hear snoring from upstairs. I'm
surprised she's snoring.
Wow, she's tired.
She's probably suffering from sleep apnea through her obesity of nicking strangers' porridge.
Exactly. And then they creeped up into the room, opened the door.
Sounds a bit weird.
It does. In the weird family setup, where a mother and a father bear sleep in separate beds in the same room as a baby bear. Makes no sense when you analyse it. Go in. See Goldilocks asleep.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
They eat her.
Oh. That took a dark turn.
Yeah,
They
it's
should-
quite a dark story, isn't it, when you think about it?
It's the original Brothers Grimm version.
Yeah,
They should have just phoned. They should have just phoned the authorities.
they should. Shall we make it nicer, Dave?
And I'm left feeling a bit sad now.
No, we'll do it. So they opened the door, and Daddy Bear said, "Hey, what are you doing in my bed?" Obviously, Goldilocks was a bit shook up, and then she agreed to go on Just Eat and all.
Shook up.
She was, and then they phoned Just Eat and ordered a Big Mac. So the moral of this story is Dave was
Just Eat. It's a mobile phone app, and this happened 65 years ago. Just Eat wasn't around.
It was, but it was done on tin cans. So Just Eat has actually been around a lot longer.
That makes perfect sense.
Yeah, so you'd have a red tin can that would go to every local takeaway, and you'd say Just Eat, and then you'd get back your order.
So they forgave Goldilocks.
Yeah, they forgave Goldilocks because sometimes people will break into your house, eat your porridge, and
No point holding resentment.
not feel bad about it. Yeah, don't hold resentment, hold love. But if she ever did it in my house, God help her.
If she did that in my house, she'd go the same way as the Yorkshire Terrier.
The end.
Oh, dear. Well, that was a lovely story.
Jay.
That's all right.
Thank
Thank
you,
you, Dave.
The ending.
Any questions?
What are you going to have next week?
Well, I'm going to let Dave choose any fairy tale story.
Oh, I almost said something that would have got us into a lot of trouble.
Well, what were you going to say?
Something very homophobic. Right. I was going to say a story about a house. Okay, next week, can we please have the fox and the heron, please?
The fox and the heron?
Yeah.
All right. I'll write it.
It's a real one by Aesop.
Is it?
Yeah.
The fox
Does
and
Paul
the
need to
heron.
send it to you?
I think Paul might need to.
The fox and the heroine.
Not the heroin. Oh, I know where I can get some of that.
Bet you do.
Yeah, I do. But I'm not giving out sauces. I ain't no squill. I ain't no grass.
Don't need ketchup with it.
So, you what, mate?
Sauces.
Have you had some of you off your tits? What are we having ketchup with?
You said, yeah, you don't want to give your sauces out. Ketchup.
Oh, you've really f***ed me off with that joke, mate.
Oh, dear. Right, has anyone got another news story that we can finish up this week on?
Have you got one, AMJ?
Well, all I've got is nothing really other than...
He's done bugger all again, isn't he? Bugger all. He hasn't even done the video. He's done bugger all this week.
Oh, God. That video is becoming a lot harder to make. It's like you wouldn't ask someone to make a Disney film without any characters.
We've got all the real people that we need. We've got DJ Critters, we've got you, and we've got Dave.
Right, I will get something together for the video.
Dave's just waiting for a script.
Yeah, I'm not very good at the lib adding.
He's not.
I had to ad-lib my one. I did mine 2 weeks ago.
Exactly.
That's because
you did a fine job.
It's because you're absolutely brilliant and you're like the best person on this podcast. As mentioned as well in the interview I done with Trevor Feelgood.
Which he's waiting on getting released.
Yeah. Then the more he asks for it, the more I'm going to make him wait.
Oh, bless him. He's not going to feel good about that.
Oh, see what you've done there. I've got a news story that's that wouldn't be out of place at Christmas time.
Oh,
Go on.
Yeah. And this lady, she found something at the bottom of her Brussels sprout. What did she find?
dirt.
An
That's
engagement
what it
ring.
is, but it's not what she said.
I don't know actually. Like, but had the Brussels sprout been cooked, or did it come out of a bag?
It was a raw one. She was prepping it to cook.
A dead mouse.
A dead mouse. How big
What, the
is a
DJ?
sprout?
Yeah, dead mouse. The DJ was at the end of a Brussels sprout.
Still a set.
Say dead mouse. You're a very good. I danced all night.
I bet.
Did she find a £5 note?
No. So Shauna
Infinity
Roberts,
Storm.
who it happened
Stone.
to, it wasn't a stone. She's 34, and she was so shocked by it, she called her children, Jack and Michael Harper, 14 and 10, over to look at what she had found.
Was it a toy?
No.
Was it a human finger?
No.
Was it the concept of pity?
No.
Was it Dave the elephant?
Oh, no, I've been nowhere near sprouts because they make my bum smell bad and it makes me really self-conscious.
What was it then, Paul?
Jesus. She found Jesus on the bottom of a sprout.
I wonder where he'd been.
Yeah, he's been hiding there for 2,000 years.
Oh, so they found the fake. Well, they didn't find Jesus, did they? They found an imprint.
Yeah, they found an image, but get this. So somebody later said it was Jesus, but this is what she said. When I spotted this particular sprout, I don't know why she's got quite a manly voice. Geraldine, can you read this out? It'll come more amusing from you. All right then, Pat. Wait, there it is. When I spotted this particular sprout, I thought it was funny. It just made me laugh. I said to my friends, I wish for Johnny Depp for Christmas, and I got him at the bottom of a sprout. I like them roasted with a little bit of parmesan, or with a little bit of maple syrup and nutmeg, or a little bit of bacon. I think she used to live in Herne.
Well, I think she sounds like one of the voices of Eurotrash.
Did Geraldine used to do Eurotrash?
Well, I was a young giraffe and the money was right. But Jesus, the Brussels sprout, was put in the recycling bin after he started looking less like Jesus. He didn't have the heart to use it.
I think that would ruin the year more if you'd accidentally boiled Jesus. Like, I think you could safely say we'd be in like the end stage if that would have happened.
That'd have been like disgusting, but it's like a tiny little Jesus. And shrink raid him.
Hello, it's me, little Jesus.
Here it is.
Angel Gabriel appeared unto the farmers, and he said, Behold, I bring you tidings of great joy. For this day the God returns to bring salvation to the world, because God knows we need it. Go forth and worship him, and ye shall find him in a place called Altham Abbey. And there will be hidden from you in Brussels sprouts.
I think it'd turn up on something a bit more classy. Like it happens at least once every 2 weeks. Jesus' face turns up on something like a Dorito or
Or a
cheesy
dog's
puff
ass.
or a dog's heart. I've not seen that.
Have you not? It's brilliant. And when I saw it, it looks really, it was very, very convincing.
Imagine explain like why are you looking at that?
That dog fooled me. He went, hey, look at this really handsome Johnny Depp fella. He's behind me. And I end up tonguing a dog's ass. It weren't pretty.
Yeah. You really stuck your neck out on that one.
Hey.
I find that offensive.
Or was it just a tall tail from a giraffe?
Bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye.
Yes, on that note, I think we're calling it a day for this week.
Good night, everyone.
Good night, everyone.
Oh,
Good
good
night,
night, guys.
And
night.
goodbye to Trump.
Bye, Trump.
Thanks for that, Dave.
That's better.
I've just got visions now of like next week, like listening back going, we should have said that stuff about Trump. We didn't know that was going to happen.
Yeah.
Musical Insights.